Okay. Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome into Livin, Lovin Disney with Rob.
And Katie.
And we also have with us Kurt and Alicia. Say hello, guys.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
So I get my self-esteem from that.
Oh. Oh, come on, Kurt. Hey, so anyways, thanks for joining us on the show. Tonight we're going to do a movie review. This is our second movie review, and we're going to talk about Raya and the Last Dragon. So why don't we get started? I'm going to say that, this is the first, this is a movie that's based on Southeast Asia legend, and the countries down there like Cambodia and Thailand, whatever the other countries are down there. And so that's kind of where this legend, this story comes from. And it also introduces us to the first Southeast Asian Disney princess, who is
Raya.
I had to think about that.
I know.
Okay.
A whole minute of talking. You forgot already.
That was funny. We were talking about the show earlier. And I'm like, what's her name?
He did the same thing.
Katie goes, it's Raya. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm a genius.
That's the name of the movie.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wasn't too sure what to think about the movie, but we had to watch it, and it turned out to be pretty good. So it opens up with Raya on the back of a roly-poly bug,
A big one.
giant one, and she's kind of narrating the story, and she's out searching for something, but you don't know exactly what's going on just yet. But she's kind of narrating, and then it kicks back to 6 years prior to where she's at now. And then so she's younger, obviously, and she's with her father, and she lives in the land of Heart. And there's 5 different lands in the story. And Katie, what were those lands again?
It was heart, spine, fang, talon, and tail.
Okay. And if you notice, those are all named after parts of a dragon.
Right.
So that's kind of a thing that you probably should keep in mind as we talk about the movie.
And at one point, you have to know that all these tribes were all one group at one point. And it was the loss of the dragons that split them apart. And they separated into different tribes.
So the movie, with this movie, they're trying, the thing they're trying to accomplish is Kumandra, which is unity between all the lands.
All the differences.
Now, so what it comes up to is Raya is telling the story of how she got where she's at. And so you go back in time, she's a young girl, she's with her father, and her father has a vision, or not vision, but as in vision, but he wants to bring the tribes all together because they're all apart. And so he has this idea of Kumandra because of, the stories that they've heard over the years. And so that's what he's trying to do. And so he invites all the groups to come to Heart to a feast.
And Heart is one of the most special lands for tribes because they own and are the guardians of the Dragonstone.
Right.
The last of the dragon's magic.
Which is a jewel or something. It's round jewel to have. So, but all the other lands are not very fond of Heart, and as you see in the beginning of this movie. And so, anyways,
they're jealous.
Who doesn't like food? So they bring them together for a feast and invite them into their palace, and so that's where we're sitting now with the tribes all together with this feast. Now the Raya sparks up a friendship with this other girl. What was her name, Katie? Namari. So she decides, because Namari gives her a special gift, Kurt, do you remember what that special gift was that she gave Raya? It was a necklace, a
Is that
dragon.
right? Yes, Namari. A dragon necklace.
Yeah,
And
which
you can just answer all my questions for me if you want.
okay. Well, what else? But she gave her something else too. What else did she give her?
Well, she didn't give her something
She
else.
showed her.
Yeah,
Well,
she
she
showed
had
her there's this map, but she Namari or whatever, she took it back to her place, and then it anyway. Also, heads up, you guys probably already know, people that are watching this. We're gonna spoiler everything probably, so
We're gonna try not to, but it's inevitable that some
At
stuff's
some
gonna be.
point.
But we're gonna
Yeah.
try to keep
yeah,
it.
for sure.
So
So
it's
if
not
you
like
want
the
to see this
last one.
first, you can see it, but if you don't care, okay, whatever.
So anyway, so they kind of spark up this friendship, and she decides to take Namari to the Dragonstone to show her. So little do we know this is part of the plan
She was
that Fang
tricky.
tricked them into doing.
She was a tricker.
So they get to the Dragonstone,
Mhm.
and Namari attacks Raya, and then Raya's father comes, and there's a battle basically in within the Dragonstone lair.
Okay, you're going play by play again.
Well, I'm just trying to set up the movie.
Okay.
So then at this point, the stone gets broken into 5 pieces. And in all the confusion, all the tribes grab their own piece, and then everybody bails. So now we're set up to where we find Raya in the opening scene. Well, no, not yet. Not yet. So there's also a thing in this movie. There's an evil entity in this called the Droon, right?
Dun, 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 dun.
And explain what the Droon does.
Well, it's like if it touches you, it turns you to stone. It's kind of just this weird. It's like if a purple Coca-Cola and Pepto-Bismol had a party and it kind of exploded,
But it's black.
but it's also
Black.
black in the middle, so
Yeah.
it's black
Okay.
cherry too.
So what is it like?
and it
what
just
is
tries to envelop everything. And
but it feeds off hatred and
Contention
Contention,
and
right?
fighting and yeah.
I
It fuels
guess
it.
kind of just randomly pops up too, to like surprise.
It's always
know?
been there. It's been there
Yeah.
the whole time.
but it just waits for
Yeah,
for bad to be accelerated in mankind, and then it kind of attacks. And so because this big battle kind of occurred over the Dragonstone, well, now they just invited this bad entity in, and it starts going through and turning everybody to stone. And so as they try to escape, Raya's father gives her their piece of the stone and hucks her over a bridge, and then he turns to stone. And then it goes to 6 years into the future, and this is where we find her riding her pill bug or roly poly bug,
And the adventure
Right.
begins.
and the adventure begins. So that's kind of the gist of the movie. So there's several characters in the movie. Who's got that pulled up?
Kurt?
Kurt, you got?
do you want
Why
me
don't
to
we-
just go through each one?
Yeah, so she goes to each of these lands and she picks up different partners. So yeah, go through each one
All
of
right.
the.
Well, first we got. I mean, do you want me to talk about Sisu
Well,
at all?
Sisu is the dragon that
They're the last dragon.
got rid of the Droon to begin with 500 years, in the past. And
Yeah,
so this
so-
is what the necklace that she was given by Namari gave
And the
her a
map.
necklace of this dragon. Okay.
Yeah.
And showed her a map to where they think the dragon
It's supposed to
might-
be.
have
Yeah.
disappeared to or whatever.
by
So,
I'm
legend.
trying to just
By
reunite
legend.
all the.
so
all the
that's
dim
Sisu's
pieces
the
that-
dragon. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so we got the little kid on the shrimp boat. Boone. I think
Ooh.
is how he says new.
Captain Boone.
Yeah. You got the Con Baby with the weird monkeys.
Okay.
I think there's Little Noi. I
Evil
think
little
that's what
sucker.
her name is.
Mhm.
And we also have. Let's see here.
Little Noi amazes me that she can't talk,
The baby.
baby, but she's very mischievous. I'm so glad with that much mischievousness that she's not real.
Oh, for sure.
What was
Yeah.
the big
Who's
guy
great?
from
I think his name's Tong.
Tong? Yeah. Tonga toast.
Well, it's better than something else you could have said. Anyway, so
Oh, please don't
I
help
know,
him.
I don't
Don't
know
help
what that
him.
was, Kurt.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Don't help
That
him.
might come to me later. So yeah. Stand by.
Now let's just go on to the next thing.
Okay, so is that all the
So
characters
let's
that
see.
are?
I'm trying
No.
to think of what the other. I'm trying to think. There's a big guy. There's a little.
The little boat guy.
Boat guy.
There's the
That's-
little
Babe,
pets.
That's it. You got the baby,
That's
the three
pretty much it,
monkeys,
right?
the young
three
boy,
pets.
and then the big guy.
I think that's it. Yeah.
That's
Those are
it.
the main ones.
So
Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
that's it.
okay, so
Tuck.
Tonga toast. Tonga. He's basically the last guy left of his people. Everybody else has been turned to stone at this
His whole
point.
family has been turned to stone.
Yeah,
He's this
and-
great
And
warrior.
and the Captain Boone, is that was his name? He's on
Yeah.
a boat. He never goes on the land because he can see the
No, he's
Droon,
scared.
right?
Water
The Droon.
protects it away from the Droon, so he's scared to get off the
Right.
boat. So he never
Okay.
left the boat.
So yeah, so he never leaves his
So-
boat. So
So after, I guess we got the synopsis.
Kind
Um,
of.
okay, so what did you think of? What did you guys think of? What struck you?
In the movie,
in the
what
movie,
struck
what-
you? What'd you think?
What did you think of the movie?
I think
Alicia,
of,
get in there anytime.
yeah, Alicia, talk.
Well, okay, I will. I don't want to talk over anyone.
Well, you need to.
Go ahead. Rob will talk over if you don't. It's all right.
I'll talk
No
over
one
you
wants to hear
anyways. This is the podcast. You're supposed to talk. I could do little tricks.
Okay, well, I just thought of, I know Raya is she's like supposed to be the main character. I feel like Sisu was more of a main character than she was. I mean, I know, the protagonist and all of that stuff, but it kind of felt like she was just kind of the one, going to the next thing and the next thing. But I didn't really, I don't know, like there's character progression. I just don't know if I really saw a whole lot with her, but I felt like there
With
was a lot more with
Sisu?
Sisu.
Well, I
Um,
mean, with the Sisu character, she had her powers.
Mhm.
Okay, she takes the persons of a human at first. Well, not when they first meet, but they're not too far after that. She does.
No, at first she looks like My Little Pony dragon, which I
Right.
really despise the way they drew them. It just must sink.
But
You didn't
but
It's
like it?
awful.
she does turn into a human
That wasn't bad.
form.
I do.
But you don't really, they don't really
They're furry.
dive
They're
deep into
supposed
it.
to have scales.
No,
Right.
no,
That
no.
was a little different.
Well,
It's weird.
Yeah, they're
No, it's
cute
Especially-
not. It's
Especially with Sisu, because
it's
she's got a
Eastern.
furry face.
they're
but
Eastern
then-
dragons. They're not
She's
like
got a tail.
medieval dragons, like
wait.
Like a
Europe
fish tail.
dragons.
Okay, you go through time, and I looked up all kinds of dragons from that space and time, and drawings and stuff of Chinese dragons.
Yeah, they're not that cute.
They're
still
not cute,
dragons,
but they were still dragons.
Well, it's Disney. It has to be.
I know.
Where you at? Can you see that?
That's a dragon.
That's a dragon. See scales?
Some of them,
Colorful. Yeah, it still had hair and a mane, but he
yeah.
had some color and some scales that made it look more like a dragon. When she hugged it, it was furry, like
But
a stuffed animal.
but
I
they
was like,
still-
that's just wrong.
they still didn't have-
Exactly, Kathleen.
they weren't
this
like
is
dragon-
why they did it.
Ugh,
So
it
they
was
could
just
sell
wrong.
plushies of Sisu
It was just wrong.
And-
Sure,
Sorry.
that's right.
And all of the large population of
Yeah.
Chinese
So I think they
in
did
Southern
really
California
well
will just buy it.
until the dragon popped out. And then I was like, seriously, you could have done better, Disney. I was not impressed with the
Well,
dragons.
they had to
but-
make it cute. So
well, that one's still
but
cute.
you're right.
They
They're-
could have
they're
done better. But
My Little
anyway,
Pony Dragon.
my 2 cents.
Okay. So, all right. So Sisu. Okay. So what else did you think? So
Well, I
Sisu-
mean, I liked the movie. It was good.
You felt Sisu was stronger than Raya?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I liked the development of Raya
as
and her
far as-
relationship with her father and how she really felt
sure.
the whole burden to carry it, and she carried that all the way through. And the lessons she had to learn. I mean, I followed it all the way from one end to the other to trust. And here she's a trusting kid and trusts another kid and winds up getting burned. And then she just doesn't want to trust again. Forget it. This is what caused my dad to go away. So I can't trust anyone. And she has to learn to trust and to have faith and to have love. And it comes full circle in her development of her personality to finally get that and put it all together.
Yeah, but she learns that from Sisu.
From Sisu, but Sisu's like Grandma Willow, you know, she knows all. She's been around forever. She already
And
knows
swim
what these
as
people
well.
need to do, but they're just too stubborn to do it. So she keeps trying to get them to
Yep.
do what she needs them to do
Mhm.
to straighten it out. And they're like, nah, you know, they won't do what she needs them to do.
Right.
Mm.
Alicia.
No, like I think that's it. Like Sisu, I like how you compared her to Mother Willow because I don't know. I disagree with Kurt. I liked Raya's progression because she did
Kurt.
have to like learn for herself.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's just because I like this movie because it seems a little different than past Disney movies. It's not necessarily like this happy musical where all the characters are singing. It's just a new storyline. It's not reinventing an old Disney movie. So I appreciated that and the new story that they told.
Yeah. I think it had a really wonderful message all the
So-
way through it.
So what did you think? What was the message behind when they got turned to stone and they went up with the cup hands? What is that? What was that all about? I
That's
didn't
a
quite get
servant's
that.
mode with your head down and hands out. That's I give you all of me. It's
Or
a
is it like
servant's
feed
gift.
me, you
In the Asian
dirty rat.
culture, no. In that kind of culture, when you bow your head is in respect. When you put your hands out like this, it's a gift. So when they give it from their heart, they're giving all of themselves.
So you think that's what that means?
I think so. Look it up.
What do you look at that?
Look it up. Google,
What do
baby.
you what do you think about that, Kurt?
Kurt left us.
I think
No,
he's
I
still
haven't
there.
left you.
He's-
It's just the recording on
what
the
did you
audio.
think?
It just seemed like it's better when I don't have.
What did you think about that, Kurt?
I think it was just it just sounds like a thing that happened. You know, I don't know what the reason was for it, but
I was just wondering if maybe
it
you
just
caught on to something.
whenever you like whenever the dream like killed you or turned you to stone, you turn into that
Some of
one
them did
stance.
that.
Everyone
Not
turns
all
to
of
that
them
one
did.
stance.
I think it was just they turned into
That's
a
true.
I think they just turned into a bird bath.
No, they didn't. Only a few of them actually did that. In that group, only
No,
Raya and
every
Hannah
one of
did
them every one of them that got turned to stone did that. Every one of them,
You want to bet?
except for
except at the end. Except
except
at
at
the
the end.
end when Raya and Numari and all that group
That
turned to
group
stone.
turned to stone.
They didn't,
They did not.
but everybody
I
else.
don't know why that is,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So there.
Oh,
Anyway, so
okay.
the other
Okay.
thing I thought was interesting that carried the movie too was as they went through first just she goes and finds the dragon
Mhm.
with the
Mhm.
map that you said so and so didn't give her, but somehow she got it.
She
No,
stole
she stole it.
it.
Kathleen's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
she stole it. Okay.
Yep.
So then I thought it was interesting that each time they obtained a part of the dragon stone,
Mhm.
there was a special power associated with that part of the dragon stone. Did you
From-
pick up on that?
Yeah, they were all pieces of the other dragons that had her family, her brothers and sisters,
Right.
dragons that had given their magic into the stone. So those pieces were harnessing the last bit of the magic from those dragons.
Okay. Right. So I thought that was kind of a good part of the movie. That each time they went to a different city, she got a
Which
different
again,
power.
each power is different, and it was all about their differences all the way through this
And-
thing. It kept signifying the differences and how when they come together and unite, there's so much more power.
Right.
And to quit with the differences.
Now, what do you guys think about when the dragons existed the first time and they got rid of the Droon the first time? Why did they have to give all their power to Sisu? How did you guys pick up on that at all? Do you remember that part?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's kind of ambiguous. It was kind of like with our powers combined, Captain Planet. That's what I was feeling like a little bit. And I was kind of like, okay, well, there was like hundreds of dragons before, and then there was the last, was it 5 or 6 or something, and then only these ones had the power to make us a gem that could save the world. I guess that's something that I didn't quite understand.
I think they all had powers, but only they got down to the last family of dragons.
Yeah, that's
And
what I was trying to. Why were they more special than I guess all those other dragons? I guess
They weren't, Kurt.
I don't think it was that. I think they just realized that the only way to do that was to make the sacrifice of giving all of their power and uniting their power to make that darkness go away. Each of the older siblings knew what their power was. They already knew it. Sisu, if you're all the way through the movie, says, I'm a good swimmer. I'm a good swimmer. I love water. Sisu doesn't even know what her power was.
Well, that's it.
But Sisu was the baby, and they all trusted Sisu. It was the gift of trust and belief that Sisu could do it. They all gave all their magic to Sisu and trusted that she would figure it out and do what needed to be done. And she did. Sisu's gift is trust and faith.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. So out of these hundreds of, I guess, thousands of dragons, these 5 were the only ones to figure this out. And then
they were the only ones left. The cloud had already turned all the other ones.
The Droon had already gotten to the other ones.
One by one.
I'm just trying to understand. I understand it's an animated movie, but I'm just trying to understand why one thing equals another thing. That's all. I just thought maybe could have been explained a little bit better.
No, I think they showed. Because they showed the dragons realizing that
they were losing
the Droon were getting all the other dragons, so they knew that they had to do something. It wasn't that they were chosen, they were the special dragons. No, they just stopped and realized what their situation was, and then they acted.
We act now or we lose. So they did everything they could and gave themselves.
Yeah, still kind of confusing.
Okay,
sorry.
Kurt.
You keep explaining this to me. I'm still like, I just don't, all their powers combined is Captain Planet. That's all I think of.
Dad had to watch it 3 times.
Wonder Twins unite. I know.
Well, it's not necessarily that. It's just
so I'm like
how the power to glow, the power to fly, the power to swim really fast.
They just
like how these things combine to destroy evil. I know it's the trust thing, but why can't it just be trust then instead of all these dragon powers instead? I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Because it takes the dragon's mystical power to always protect.
Let me ask you
as
this.
the guardians to do that.
Did each of the powers that were introduced to in each of the cities as they get a new part of the crystal or the dragon stone, do they use each one of those powers to escape from that city? Do those powers they come in handy, right? Do they not in the movie?
Yep.
I would imagine so.
Well, when she turns into a person, and they're like, oh, that's cool. Okay, now I don't have to hide.
Right.
And then another part, she's glowing and they needed light. And another part, there was something.
No, I thought it was also interesting that they brought up credit, that she could buy stuff on credit. when she went to
that was funny.
the one city that you
I'd
could, you're
like
an adult,
credit.
you can buy it on credit.
I'll take this and this and this. I love credit.
Well, you don't have any credit here. We don't know you. Pretty rough, man.
That was pretty funny.
It's life. They don't care about that now. They just want you to get a credit card.
They had credit back then. That's pretty good.
They don't care who you are. They just want money. But anyway, besides that, but yeah, no, it's good. Oh yeah, any other, I guess, questions about that? You guys probably have questions about all this, but
I don't know. I'm trying to think about some stuff in the movie that we can bring up without, going play by play. But
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
thought, in the beginning of the movie, when they all invited to Hart, they all don't like Hart. They think Hart sucks. They think they got the almighty weapon, which is the dragon stone, is what
Which
they're
is
referring
not
to,
a
which is
weapon.
not a weapon at all. But it made them more prosperous, maybe by being protectors of the dragon stone. I don't know. Maybe that was just their attitude about it all that made them more prosperous. But that was kind of the big dilemma in the beginning, was that they had the dragon stone and nobody else had it. So
Jealousy.
I guess it protected them. This is the power of it. Yeah, jealousy, hatred, and this hatred, So I guess we can all kind of relate to that in real life, I guess, to some extent.
Well, everyone will probably interpret the message of this movie differently. But I really, with all that's going on in the world right now and all the racism talk and all of that, and the differences, I when I watched this movie, I took it total to heart and saw through the message. And I thought, okay, the tribes are differences between black and white and red and all the different colors, all the different races, and the power that came from everybody uniting in unity. And that the dark clouds were, the hate. I get it. We've got it all around us. But if we could all just unite and quit seeing the racism, quit seeing all the differences, and just unite in love and be happy, that it made the bad go away and they were able to be happy. There was magic in that and power in that unity. And we need to harness some of that right now in power of the unity to take back and get our country back.
Kurt, Alicia, any comments on that?
No,
How did the movie make you guys feel at the end, toward the end of the movie?
How did it make me feel?
Yeah, I mean, what did you get out of the movie as far as a message?
The dragons can fly without wings.
No.
They weren't really flying, they were running through the air.
They were bouncing
puddles
off
of
of
water.
raindrops. Raindrops, I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These dragons didn't have wings.
Some
Yeah,
did.
I mean,
Some did.
It was a just uniting thing. It's just not hating each other and just not worrying about that. I mean, yeah, that's basically for sure.
Yeah. When they trusted one
what it's
another.
about, I don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quit seeing their differences and was able to move forward with one purpose.
Isn't it like
Not be
life?
selfish too.
Like life, it takes something dramatic like that sometimes to bring people together, to do what you have to do to make a difference. It's too bad that it has to be that way, but it seems like it always is. Something drastic. Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's true.
Right. And you kind of, I don't know, you kind of see that with the start of, or the reason why Raya goes on this adventure. Like something big had to happen for all these people to finally wake up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I want one of her pill bugs though. Those are pretty cool.
Tonga toast over there. I mean, he lost everybody. He was the last one left. Everybody else had been turned to stone.
His wife, his kids, everything.
person?
Yeah.
And the little boy, his family was all turned to stone. So he stayed on the river. I mean,
yeah.
These characters basically lost
everything
they loved, and knew that they had to pull together in order to make a difference. And
They had
Yeah.
nothing to lose but to believe in, okay, maybe there's something
And-
better.
And
Yeah,
then
if we
in
do
the
this.
end, she had to Raya was having a hard time with trusting and giving up, the responsibility of being the chosen one, or if you want to call it that,
Mhm.
in the end, and
She had to give it to someone
Numari-
she did not trust at all.
yeah, Numari was somebody she did not trust. She, for one thing, I don't know if I should say this, spoiler alert, she kills the dragon, right?
Sisu.
Sisu. And so that really jacked her up. And so in the end, she had to give her the stone. And Numari was the one that was basically able to bring it all together. And in the end,
They all
saved her. It's
sacrificed
just like a
themselves.
Disney movie, though. You think all hope's lost, like when the beast got killed, and then oh my gosh, he's dead, and then Belle kissed him, and then you're like, is anything going to happen? All of a sudden, magic happens.
It was a heck of a kiss.
Yeah, so I mean, you still have that in this movie as well, because all of a sudden the Droon takes everybody, but by then Numari had put the stone back together, and even though the light went out in the stone, it was put back together. And the fact that they trusted one another.
When each person put in their piece and stopped the distrust and contention, we have faith. Boom.
Well,
I have
Mari had to
faith.
do
Boom.
that. She put
They
it together.
all had to do it,
but they all gave her the
Yep.
piece. They saw Raya do it, Raya do it, and then they all follow suit, because they saw that she gave up her, she gave trust, they figured, okay, and that's the whole thing that Sisu was teaching them the whole time. So they finally all got it and trusted Numari, who was really their nemesis the whole movie, and put that thing back together. And it wasn't until that thing was fully put back together and all hope was almost lost, and then the Disney magic happened.
And who knew that dragons could raise the dead?
Well, the magic of the stone
raised Sisu.
Unpetrifies people.
Yes.
Yeah, the melts off. That was
all
pretty
the
cool.
birth baths came back to life. So there you have it.
And she gets to see her her dad. And
what did she call her dad?
Is it Bay?
Far?
Bay? Ba, Bay? Something like that.
Bobby.
It's like
I thought it was
sheep.
Fa.
What the sheep do?
Bah.
No.
Yeah. I love
Was
their
it
relationship.
Bob?
I thought it was really cute. They have a strong relationship between the two of them.
But
Yeah.
anywho, anything else you guys want to remark about the movie that you got out of it or you liked about it?
Well, I listened to this one podcast as well. Shout out to the Rotoscopers. I love them. And
Okay, that's a good one.
They were talking about how kind of that, when they were like frozen for a lot of time and then they were unfrozen, then everyone's older,
Right.
So there's kind of like nothing in terms of that kind of surprise, I guess. that they thought maybe it was just interesting that there's anything commented about that. It's like, oh right, hey, it's you. You're exactly the same, except you're not. Now you're a lady.
You're 6 years older.
Even though they were frozen, they still looked older when they got unfrozen, right?
No.
They didn't? I thought
No.
so.
I didn't think so. They
just
didn't
look
look
the
like they
same.
changed at all. They were exactly the same, but the kids changed,
Yeah.
which brings me to wonder, the ones that are alive, if Raya aged 6 years, was that baby an embryo? I mean, seriously, 6 years she's been a baby?
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
That's a
What do
good
you think
point.
about that? I never thought about that. That's a good one. There's a little timeline goof.
There's a
on the
timeline goof in there
Disney.
somehow because the baby
Yeah.
couldn't have
Well,
been
no.
there.
Well,
There's that one place they live though was on the water, so those people they're not turned to stone very easily, thinking, because everyone's safe there because they're all in the water. That's where the baby was. So I bet the baby was just
Well, the baby
born
could have
and
been a baby. Maybe it was being taken care of by somebody else during that time, right? Because her mother was turned to stone. Because in the end, you see the mother come back to life, and the baby goes to her mother. Now, Captain Boone, the boy, he must have been. I mean, how old was he? You think he was like 12 or something in the movie? For the most part,
10,
so he was pretty young too. So
a little younger.
So he was
I mean, he's pretty young.
Yeah, so he must have been pretty young too at the time of.
Well, and the thing is, when Ba turned to stone, that didn't mean like everyone else in the world turned to stone right then.
It was just in
Correct.
It was
spot.
just
Yeah.
That's true.
So
Okay.
Could have been
these
progressive.
families and the mom,
They were still
like they could
existing,
have
yeah.
turned to stone later. So
Yeah.
Good
Could've-
point,
Good
Good
Alicia.
point.
Thinking about
Could have
it.
happened later, and then
That's right.
That's just when they met.
Well, that takes care of that whole thing. Then that
Yeah.
whole question of
the
that,
kids. Yeah.
because Numari's mom
Yeah.
didn't turn to stone till the very end. Remember?
Yeah.
So I had to watch this movie twice. The first time I watched it, I think I just watched it twice. The first time I watched it, I was like, what? How am I going to talk about this? You know? And so I got to watch this again. So I turned it on again and watched it by myself. And then Corbin came and watched it too a little bit. But so I could get more of a gist on what was going on. So I could talk about it a little more. And so I'm glad I watched it that second time. So I wasn't sure what to think of it before, you know.
I had a problem understanding it. I liked it.
Well,
from
I
the
didn't know how
get-go,
to. I didn't know how to really talk
He
about
was
it.
just thinking about it.
I think he
Yeah.
overthought it. I just
Right.
enjoyed it, got the simple message and moved on. And he was overthinking
Mhm,
and
mhm.
looking at all these different political aspects in it.
Well, I was thinking of what
I
message,
was like,
what other
seriously?
messages is Disney putting through this
Good
movie,
night.
you know?
I'm like, it's no ulterior
But-
message there. It's all
Well,
good
there
stuff.
might be, but I don't know if there's or not. To be honest with you, I think it had a good message in the end, like most movies do. You know,
Mhm.
teaches a good value for humanity. You know, even though we all think differently and are different,
And let's say it, there
we
was
can get along still.
there
and
was no
be different.
relationship in this. She didn't date. There was no
Well, there's no
love and
prince.
kisses,
I mean,
no
there
prince,
we go.
no
No
nada.
prince. So it's like
Just a
No
typical
prince.
New Disney. No
yeah,
princes.
just a movie with a strong princess who still
Sorry.
needs to grow up.
Yeah.
Yep,
No
I
smooching.
like that. Again,
Yeah.
it's not just what they've
Yeah,
done
no.
before.
No, it's it's
Yep,
good.
it was just a different turn, and there was nothing wrong with that.
Mm,
I
If
think
every
it
single
was
Disney
fine.
movie was happily ever after with a Prince on the hill with a kiss, it'd get bored. You'd know what the ending was all the time. So it's kind of
Well, this is
nice that it's a
happening
little different.
with all the
realistic,
movies as
you know.
of late. It's
Mhm.
kind of going that direction with this.
This isn't
kind
the
of thing too.
1800s, late girls.
Well, I
get
mean,
married,
you think
super
about-
early.
If you think about all the recent Disney movies, I mean, a lot of them don't have princes in them anymore. More about the princess.
Well,
Yeah.
there's only two
You got
single.
Tangled. You got.
Tanga's
know.
got somebody. She gets
There's
married.
no, he's not a prince. He's a friggin' thief.
He's a prince after he marries her.
Well, they don't call him.
Well, if you
they
watch
don't
Tangled
call him
the
Prince
series,
Thief,
you'll be able to learn more about
you
that.
know? And
Yeah.
you got
It's 3
you
seasons.
got
Watch it.
You've only
Frozen.
got Frozen,
Frozen,
and you
then
got Raya.
that.
and you got Brave.
The only
Merida.
prince you get in Frozen is the guy that's a slime bucket. Turns out to be the bad guy.
No, because she gets to marry the
Spoiler,
other.
Dad. Come on.
In Frozen?
8 years too late.
She gets the other guy. She's a marry him
What,
in number
number
one,
two?
but number
Well,
two,
number one I'm talking about.
she still gets
You gotta
Kristoff.
see number 2.
Number two is better than
Yeah, I
one.
don't think I watched number two.
I agree.
Excuse
I
me,
don't
I'm
know.
sorry.
Because
No,
I
no,
like the
no.
lead in.
I don't know
Gotta
about
watch
that.
number two.
It wasn't
Kristoff
as
sings
good.
a rock song, dude, a rock ballad. You gotta watch it.
Yeah, 80s
Yeah.
rock ballad.
Chicago. Yeah.
It's
You
great.
can't miss these things.
Which song is it?
Mhm.
Into the Woods, is that it? Into the Woods.
No.
Is it a
Lost
so-
in the
Lost in the
Woods.
Woods. I knew it said the
Wait
woods
a
on it.
minute, is that
There
a
was the
Chicago
woods.
song
Woods
that
were
they
there.
made up for the movie?
I guess you'll have to go watch
Oh
it.
wait,
Kind of.
it's not a Chicago song. It's just
No,
It
no.
sounds
it's-
sounds like a Chicago
It's an 80s
song.
rock ballad. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with
pretty
that. good music and the movie's good.
Yep. Talking reindeers help too.
Yeah.
That's all right.
No, I don't think I watched. I think I saw parts of Frozen 2, but not all of it. So
I liked it filled in the blanks. So this isn't about Frozen, but I liked that the number 2 filled in the blanks for me.
yeah, it did, didn't it?
Mhm.
So you had a little more backstory.
Yep.
So, anyways, any other comments? I think we covered it pretty good. I mean, you know.
It was good. I just did you want to
Oh.
score it, or did you just want to talk? I mean, I liked it. It just wasn't like it didn't make.
Okay, what would you give it?
What's the rate?
goosebumps or
What's your
anything.
rating?
What would you give it, Kurt?
1 to 10, Kurt. What's your rating?
For me, like
I think it's gonna be low for the boys and high for the
I
girls.
go with like an 8.
Okay, it's not
Okay.
bad. It's not bad.
That's higher than I thought you were
To
gonna
me, it
go.
wasn't like a 9 or a 10, but it was an 8.
Yeah.
Okay, Alicia, how about
Because
you?
know it was a good story. The animation was great. The story, I mean, I feel like the script was a little like it was kind of cheesy at parts, but that's how it is.
Well, Kurt, I
And,
think that's the fun of it. Like they made it so it was still fun for kids, very simple, but they also like added that meaning of trust
I know,
and
but
being able to forgive other people and looking past the differences to unite. So that's the message for the adults.
well,
Yep.
sure.
And kids can learn that too.
No, but I'm saying like certain
Yep.
lines. Let me see here. I'm trying to see what the lines. Like here's an example on IMDb. There's like these lines that are from the movie. So let's see here. I'm trying to find it. Man, I'm gonna tap dance right now.
Should we hear
Oh, here it
everyone
is,
else's
quotes.
ratings?
Quotes. Here we
Oh,
go.
okay.
All right, now I'm just gonna read this one because I know it's kind of cheesy.
What kind of cheese?
Says the cheesiest, Dan.
Oh, are you talking about like some of the Sisu's
Well, some cheese
lines?
stinks, so you could use that cheese.
Sisu's one-liners.
Yeah, are those the ones you're thinking about, Kurt? How you were just like, what?
sometimes.
Okay, Kurt, you can't find it.
No, I got it.
Okay, well, share
There's
it.
this one. Okay.
Okay.
This is right here. So like Boone says, how hot do you want it? We have hot, really hot, and boom goes the dynamite. And Sisu says, bring on the heat. Or like, I am so hungry. I have some jerky, not that hungry.
But those are
I don't
funny.
I
Yeah.
don't know, man.
Because Raya
I'm
made her
kinda-
own jerky. And
Kind of over that.
And it was nasty.
Yeah.
The heat's okay. I guess it was just some of the cheesy one-liners.
Yeah, you gotta remember this. Okay.
Well, all
These are
the
kid
all
one-liners.
movies got those
Yeah.
in them. For sure.
Right.
I thought they were
Okay.
funny.
So you give it an 8. So
Alicia,
that's
what
good.
do you got?
Alicia, what do you give this movie?
I think I would also give it an 8. Like it wasn't, I don't know. I feel like I can't give it a 9 or a 10. It wasn't like Lion King status or
No.
Tangled or Frozen
Wow.
2 for me. Those are some of the tops in my
Well,
opinion.
Okay.
True.
So what makes the difference between those movies and this movie that would bring it down a notch? Because there was no music soundtrack to it, really?
No.
You look at that killer soundtrack. I mean, Lion King had a
No.
pretty good soundtrack to it with all those music and sing along stuff. That adds a lot to the movie. So is that why, or the storyline?
Lion King's an epic storyline that just sucks you in.
Well, it's your average.
Mhm.
I guess that's
Romeo and
that's the
Juliet.
term, sucks you in. I didn't feel
It's
sucked in.
It's Romeo and
Right.
Juliet.
It's a nice story, but like I wasn't
Like,
sucked in. I
captivated.
don't know.
How
Yeah.
can I say this? I just wasn't super
wasn't-
enthralled, I guess,
Yeah.
Okay.
by it for some reason. Even if all the pieces were there, it just didn't feel like substantial. I don't know. What do you think?
They didn't.
Right.
Didn't
I feel like
captivate you.
it was a nice story,
Mm.
but I didn't necessarily have like a major connection to it. It didn't, I don't know, tear up my heartstrings or excite me the way the others
You
did.
feel like you
I don't know.
can. You feel like you connected in a special way to any of the characters in this movie, like maybe you would in some of the other Disney animated movies.
I don't
Yeah.
feel like I want to be Princess Raya, but no, no,
Okay.
no.
That-
And I
well,
mean,
that's
you
a
know,
thing. you know?
and some of the pros about this movie are also reasons why I wouldn't give it a 10. I like that it was different and it was a movie, a standalone kind of thing. But it also misses some of the classic warmth that's in a classic Disney with a combination
for
of music and
example?
storyline and things that suck you into the characters.
Okay. So you don't
Guess it
really have
is-
any characters like Olaf in this movie that just suck you,
No.
Well, no,
and
there's
make you
Tuk
laugh.
Tuk. I mean, there's certain ones. Is
Tuk Tuk was
like,
cute, but I mean, he's a
it was-
pillbug.
Yeah, it was like a post-apocalyptic world. So it was kind of this. There's a sad feeling the whole time, I guess.
Everyone's lost. Yeah, of all the
Yeah.
losses. Yeah,
Good.
I get
Okay.
that.
So what? So we got 2 8s. What do you give it, Katie?
I actually would have gone probably an 8 too. I think it was a good movie, but it's not something where I go, oh my God, I love that movie. And I've had some Disney movies where I absolutely was in love with the show and I would watch it a million times. It is no Mary Poppins. It is not Tangled to me. It's not Beauty and the Beast. There's some that just hold dear to the heart, and Lion King that it just doesn't leave you going, I've got to put that in my collection. I watched it. It was good. I've watched it a couple of times now. I enjoyed it, but it didn't feel like classic Disney.
Okay. So I'm gonna give it a 7. Same thing. I don't feel like it's some of the iconic Disney anime. I mean, the animation was killer. I'm a big fan of the animation. I think they did
Except
a
for the
great
dragons.
job. Yeah, I'm not real Betrayal of the Dragons. I don't know, whatever. It's
Wah,
kind of
wah.
goofy. Rainbow dragons, whatever.
But the animation, I thought,
the animation
just
was
keep
awesome.
getting better and better.
They
Oh,
do.
yeah.
They do get better and better.
They did a great job with the animation as always. And so I give them an A+ on that. The story, I mean, it had a good message and everything.
Mhm.
But again, it's not one of those ones I'm dying to. I mean, I did watch it twice, but I did it so I could kind of sink into my thick head, so I could talk about it a little bit and think about it a little more. So, am I dying to see it again? Probably not. But if it's on, I might sit down and watch it. If Corbin or somebody like that's
Yeah.
watching it,
I think it's in
So-
the right time and space.
right?
Maybe
So,
right now this is what the world needed from Disney. Something that wasn't shouting
well, I
politics.
could tell you a lot of things I think the world
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
needs from Disney, but I'm not.
Thank you. But this was just a nice, light,
Yeah.
story about unity and love, and maybe
Right.
that's what the world needs right now.
So, and maybe some of that has to do with the fact that I don't know. I guess it was it released in theaters? I don't know. We saw it on Disney Plus. That could be a
was.
big
It
thing
was
too,
in theaters.
because you don't
Mhm.
have that big push right now with the whole COVID thing and everything. It really, movies haven't got like before. You went and saw the movie in the theater. You had the big screen, the big surround sound, and it's a whole different
Yeah.
experience when you see a movie that way versus sitting on your couch in your living room, I think. So I didn't really have that, so that could have made a difference too, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Mhm.
It's true.
anyways,
Okay,
That's true.
sir.
all right. I think any other comments, guys? We got a
feel like the
triple 8
eyes are
and a
just-
7 on the rating.
feel like
Which I'm surprised you guys rated it that high. You boys.
Yeah.
Well, it's,
I
like you
expected
said, it's not
less.
a bad. It's not a bad movie. It's just again, it just didn't. I don't know. Just didn't strike me. I don't know why. Just didn't.
Right. Same. I mean, the animation was good. The story was
It was,
okay.
I
The
wanted to know what happened.
message was good.
I wasn't. It was cool.
Yeah.
So-
There's people already in there saying, is there going to be a Raya 2?
Well, of
What's
course.
next?
I'm sure
You know?
there's kids. I mean, Eden and the boys, my daughter Eden and her boys, they're all
They were
younger,
sucked in. Those
they've
kids were
watched it like
attached.
5. I don't know. They've watched at least 4 times, I think now. So depends on
Wow.
All
who
right.
you are, and I'll be honest. There's not a lot of movies that I'm going, oh my gosh, that's the best movie I've seen anymore. I mean, it's no
No,
like
it's not Mary Poppins.
when Star Wars came out. Oh my, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, Star Wars was awesome. Indiana Jones, all that stuff. Those were epic movies. I mean, they just hit you, in a way that was like you want to go see it again because it was so friggin' awesome. But I haven't really seen a movie like that as of late, and it could be because of everything that's been going on. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's all.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's all I'm trying to really think about it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was just gonna say it's I find it interesting with the because a lot of this animation's realistic, but
Mhm.
also they've kind of gone into the CGI version, with their eyes are really big,
Yeah.
Right.
and I feel it's a little different than like say like Belle or
I think there was a little Chinese influence on that, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean the animation, Chinese animation.
oh yeah. Well, no, I'm thinking it
and
was that's been happening with like like even Tangled and Frozen. Like you
Oh yeah,
look at that, and
yeah.
that's been
Everything's
happening a lot more.
disproportionate to like real people.
Yeah, which
If you
is
go back
fine.
to like
It's a cartoon. It's cool. I just think
Right.
I just find that interesting. That's all. That's all. Nothing.
Right.
It's, yeah. I guess with like 3D characters, maybe it's better. I don't know. I'm just here. So.
All right. Well, I guess that's going to do it for this episode of Live and Lemon Disney. Thanks for joining us with our movie review of Raya, whatever it's
Raya and the
called,
Last Dragon.
or however you say it. It could be different for
Whatever.
you, how you say it. We had that little
I don't know.
conversation before.
Potato
So-
patata.
That's right. So, hey, you guys all have a great week, and everybody say goodbye. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Come on, Kurt. Alicia.
Bye.
Hello. Hello.
Goodbye.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Hey, why don't you guys pop up so we can see you?
Kurt.
Thanks for having us.
Hello. Kurt.
All right. Kurt doesn't want to be
All right.
visual.
Oh,
Here
wait.
we go.
Wait.
Oh,
There
there
you
you
go.
go. Now
I
they can
fixed
say
it.
So we can say
goodbye.
goodbye.
No, it was recording. Oh yeah, that's right.
We're
You
still
can stop
recording.
it. Yeah.
Wait,
But you can stop
should I
wherever you
share my
want.
funnel cake story?
Okay, Alicia, share your funnel cake story.
Okay, so last week
Stop.
we went to Lagoon.
Which
Okay.
is
And
amusement
yeah.
park here in Utah.
Right. So I'm walking by this garbage can, and no joke, on top of this garbage can, there is
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
a box. And in the box is an untouched funnel cake with chocolate
is
and
so
whipped
funny.
cream.
So,
And I was like,
and
never have I ever seen anything like that, but it totally made me think of your podcast.
And did
So-
Kurt
that
eat
is
it? Wait a
funny,
minute.
man. Yeah, Kurt.
No,
did you
he-
eat it?
there.
he wasn't with me when I saw it.
But I would have.
But I asked him, I was like, hey, like, this is what
That
I
is
saw.
so-
Would you have ate it? And he was like, yeah, if I wanted a funnel cake.
Oh, who doesn't want a funnel cake?
That's hilarious.
Kurt?
But yeah,
That
I
is
was like,
hilarious
who-
because we
like,
did that episode on the trash can episode.
Right. I was like, it's
That
on
is
top of
real.
the trash can and it's in a
it's-
box
it's
and it's
real.
untouched. Like,
That is
I
so
didn't
funny.
think that
So
would
I'm gonna
actually
just
happen.
say it. Okay, I know we say goodbye to all the people out there, but if you saw a funnel cake like Alicia did on top of a trash can, untouched, would you eat it?
Would
Ask
ya?
yourself.
Ask
You
yourself.
know you
Yeah,
would.
yeah.
You know you touched that funnel cake.
I did. Here's the thing: I probably wouldn't, just because I don't like funnel cake. But I would.
How do
I
you
would
not like
just taste.
funnel
I would.
cake?
Yeah.
I just
Have
don't
you
like
ever
cake.
had
I like.
funnel
It's
cake's
nothing like
different.
I like
cake.
Okay,
ice
what's on
cream.
funnel cake, Katie? Tell
Oh,
me what funnel cake is.
funnel cake is more of like a fried dough almost. It has
But
a
it's
different
got topping on it,
consistency.
right?
And you
Yeah.
put strawberries on it, and
Straw-
whipped cream, or cinnamon and sugar,
Kurt,
or whatever
I
you
don't
want.
If it's
mind
got
it, I'm just
strawberry
saying I like
topping on
ice
it, you're not
cream
going to
more.
eat
I'm
that
just-
thing?
I'm trying to watch my weight.
Oh my gosh, Kurt says the man that came home and was like, yeah, I had a couple donuts at work today, and I was like, you don't even
Like
make donuts. Yeah, but they were there. So
Yeah.
if this funnel cake
It
was
was there,
there,
yeah. But
you
that'd be
would
the
eat
only
it.
reason.
Do you
It
have
was
to have a
there.
reason to eat a donut? Yeah. With Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
This is the
What's that?
I really don't. I don't
Wait.
go in and buy a donut myself. It's
That's
usually other
funny,
people.
man.
This is the
Hey.
how many Dole Whips can a man eat guy.
Hey, Alicia, thanks for bringing that up. That was too funny, man.
There's not a
It's the
limit.
funniest
There's not a
thing.
I
number.
just thought it was
But-
so funny because
Ironic,
I
huh?
never thought that would like
No, but
actually
of course it does.
be
I've
like a
seen it.
realistic thing.
I've seen it, man. Like I've seen it in Disney parks. I don't remember exactly what it was, but
Oh, that's
I've
funny.
seen stuff like that where it's like a perfect churro.
So
or
you
something.
guys out there that thought that episode was
Yeah.
gross and unrealistic, it's
No, it's
real.
great. I thought.
It's real.
It
Hello,
happens.
everybody.
People, for some reason, didn't touch their funnel
That's
cake.
too
They
funny.
buy it. This
That's
rich
for
person
sure.
And
buys
it was
it, and
in
then
a box, all nice,
and their
on top of
girlfriend
the
or
garbage can.
boyfriend are probably like, "I want to leave," and then they're like, "No, I have my funnel cake," and then
You know,
they
it's
go, "Oh,"
probably
and they're
somebody
chasing
got
them
that
or
funnel
something.
cake and then they were like grabbing kids and putting stuff in their bags and set
could be
it
it too.
down.
Yes,
They
They
I'm a
finished
funnel cake.
grabbing everybody and walked off.
Okay, remember the scenario in the podcast where I talked about the Dole Whip thing, and you know they just set it down because little Jimmy was crying and forgot about it. There you go. There's the scenario right there in real life.
And
Let's see.
Kurt already covered that he would eat
That and you said you'd eat
Yep,
that
yep.
freaking thing.
Yep. it. Dole Whip was
Yep.
gone.
If it had strawberries on it, if it was
You
a
could be a
funnel
big
cake with
pig, too.
strawberries on it, Kurt,
Ooh.
you'd eat it. There's no way you wouldn't eat that.
Kurt would go,
Yeah.
he's
Pass that
wasting.
out.
I must eat that.
Well, yeah.
Mhm.
That's funny.
Look at that money. Look at that delicious.
Anyways,
Oh, that's
thanks
too
for
funny.
joining us. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time on
Livin',
Livin'.
lovin' Disney.
Thanks, Kurt. Thanks, Alicia.
Bye.
Let's shut
Thanks
this
for
thing
having
off.
us.
Thank you guys. That was fun.
Where is
Thank
it? Hold
up there.
on. Wait, I know. Is it down here?
No, it's up there at the top, you weirdo.
Oh, right there.